How's it going, you sexy beast? My name is Drath, and it's another Sunday, meaning we've got some more questions to answer. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to all who showed up to the live stream yesterday. We had over 170 concurrent viewers, and my email absolutely exploded with notifications from Twitch, and the 215 of you who followed the channel. It was absolutely amazing, and I had a really fun time streaming for you all. If you'd missed the stream yesterday, don't worry, I'll be live streaming again tomorrow, the 30th of June, at 5 p.m. EDT at twitch.tv/Drath, so make sure to come in and join in on the fun. A couple of videos planned this week. I've got the basic idea for a chivalry combat tutorial laid out, and now I just need to discover how I want to present it. Light Assault's best carbines for Planetside 2 is indeed coming this week, so expect that. And lastly, Sila and I will be teaming up together to put on some tight spandex and record another episode of Fireteam Awesome. Release date is quite tentative, as it depends on both of our schedules. Anyway, let's jump into some questions from you guys, and I'm so very sorry if I mispronounce the crap out of your name. Starting off, UncoolNoob Ingaming asks, "Hey Drath, what are your hopes for Planetside 2 as far as progress goes? Love your vids, keep up the great work, you sexy beast." Thank you so very much, UncoolNoob. But my hopes for Planetside 2, as far as progress goes, has to be with the latest content that they've been putting out. Say for example, when we had the Operation Make Faster game, that big ol' optimization patch, that was a big breath of fresh air into the game. A bunch of people came back, everybody was able to play the game much better than they could previously, and after subsequent patches, that's kinda died down. I know for myself, I cannot record or stream above 60 FPS if I'm in a firefight. I typically average around between 30 to 45, and that's with my CPU overclocked as far as it can go. So I wouldn't mind seeing some new optimization patches. That would be kind of neat, but what hopes I would love to see for Planetside 2, I would love to see some more continents, as for example Cirrus, just a big ass volcano planet, cross-continental lattice with the implementation of battle islands, so we can get some more logistical value in our gameplay. Because currently the whole game is, oh, let's go to a fight at the biolab. We won the fight, redeploy and find a new fight. That seems to be all it is right now. Which, I mean, is kind of fine for me, since I like to lone wolf and just jump into a fight, kill some people, and go to a bigger fight or a smaller fight depending. But for those who like to run as a leadership role, there's not a whole lot. The recent alerts really help that out, as you can lock down a continent and be like, hell yeah guys, we beat the crap out of the bad guys. That's a step in the right direction, but I'd really like to see some logistical values fleshed out more, so we can get more reason to fight instead of just team deathmatch and farming certs like that. Darthjackn asks, "Drath, do you think light assaults have more potential than heavy assault if used properly?" Yes and no. The light assaults are really cool, as are the heavy assaults. The light assault, if used properly, can get above the enemies, rain down hell, and possibly flank really easily. But the main benefit of playing a heavy assault is to be the big meat of the military. You absorb a lot of damage and you deal a lot of damage, and you're able to take out vehicles rather effectively. So it's kind of a toss-up. Light assaults are really good if you're in a massive, say for example just infantry fight. You can find pockets of enemies, drop C4 on them, take out maxes really easily. But I believe the heavy assault has a little bit more potential solely due to their overshield as well as their always rocket launcher. You could have a light assault that doesn't have C4 and just has, say for example, medical kits, whereas a heavy assault will always have a rocket launcher on them, so they're kind of more valuable with taking out enemy armor or maxes, so long as they can actually hit the frickin' things with the rockets. I know I'm kind of stuck with them. So it all depends on the player, as is the situation. A light assault would probably be really good in a biolab to get up on the trees and the rooftops with the suppressor, but then again a heavy assault is also really good in a biolab because they can take out maxes and just have a big frickin' gun with 100 bullets in it. So it all depends on the player and the situation. They're both seems pretty equally balanced, but I don't think any particular one has more potential than another. JonTaun asks, "Hey Drath, Star Wars Battlefront. Excited? Thoughts? Did you play the first two, and do you prefer first or third person? I personally want a really immersive FPS in the Star Wars universe with a gunplay feeling like Battlefield 3. Honestly, I'm really excited for the new Star Wars Battlefront, especially since it's being made by DICE, the people who made Battlefield 3, so that should be amazing with their gunplay. Thoughts on it? Seems pretty neat. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to play it out. The only thing that we've actually seen of it is like some pre-alpha, just humbo-jumbo from E3. It's like, hey, look at these models, and here's a map. Looks really cool, doesn't it? But there's no actual gameplay of it out yet. I would love an immersive first-person shooter in the Star Wars universe. I'm not a big fan of third-person shooters, mostly because the entire game, if you're playing a third-person, revolves around abusing the camera. One prime example would be Days. If you have the third-person camera, you just look around a corner, some dude's coming toward you, then you have a huge advantage over them. So as long as they can have a third-person camera, which has the line of sight implemented in it, so you can't potentially look around a corner without even going around the corner in third person, then I'm a-okay with third person. But I would personally prefer first person shooters just because I like having the gun in my hands and it being more immersive, as you said. So I would love to see first person only in the new Star Wars Battlefront, mostly because it's probably going to feel just like Battlefield 3. So it should be awesome, hopefully. Ryan Conley asks, can we please get a Battlefield 2143 or something? That's actually all I would ever want. I would have to agree with you, Ryan Conley. Battlefield 2143 was the first Battlefield that I actually got really heavily into. I played it a lot with my brother. It had a really awesome setting with that futuristic mech hover tank, just all around badassery. And I would love to actually get that once more. I would love Titan mode to come back into Battlefield, since that was my favorite game type ever. A Battlefield 2142 sequel, or 2143, would be absolutely amazing, and I would just buy that up in a heartbeat. Having the potential to play Titan mode once more in its actual true form, getting on top of the Titan and just blowing the crap out of it, was possibly the most satisfying thing in gaming that I've ever done, at least in a multiplayer standpoint. And I would have to agree that's actually all I would ever want. But we can hope that the Battlefront 3 will hopefully somewhat be like that. Who knows? The Alienation asks, what new faction-specific weapons do you want implemented in Planetside 2? For example, laser cannon for Vanu, Gauss shooter from the new conglomerate, think slug shotgun but longer range. And for TR, maybe a deployable howitzer type machine, acts like lockdown but buffed. Personally, I would love it if SOE actually pushed the sci-fi element of weaponry more sci-fi. Currently, the new conglomerate is all about Gauss. If you don't know what Gauss is, it gets a block of metal, or in this case a bullet, I guess, and accelerates it with magnets. So, for whatever reason, the new conglomerate's weapons have a ejection port, which is designed only for bullets that fire the bullet and eject the case. So there's absolutely no reason there's an ejection port on new conglomerate weaponry. So I would love to see if a Vanguard, perhaps, would get a Gauss rifle as a cannon, so they could just fire big-ass bricks of middle fingers to people and just blow them up. Instead of the AP frickin' cannon, we could get it turned into a Gauss cannon, which would act as armor-piercing or anti-tank, but without any explosive radius, since it's technically just a big-ass brick that's being flown at people. The Terran Republic, I'm not sure about a howitzer, because everybody does not want indirect damage. Say, for example, a mortar. People are already pissed off enough at Liberators and just galaxies that fly over with a whole bunch of bulldogs on them. So maybe they could get a deployable, just like Vulcan minigun from their Prowler. Say, for example, the Engineer mana turret could be turned into a Vulcan. The mana turrets for all factions could be changed into weapons. Say, for example, the PPA. I don't know. And a laser cannon for Vanu. Maybe. We already saw how a laser cannon turned out to be. The frickin' Vortex on the Max, everybody hates it. So they could probably do a lot better working with that. I think they should just use plasma and everything that they use. Like the grenades would be amazing if they were Vanu-specific grenades. So you could stick them on people, or just have normal grenades and the sticky grenades be sticky. I don't know. I'm terrible with ideas. So I'm not so sure about the Vanu or the new conglomerate Gauss being like a shotgun. I'm thinking more of the Railjack, but not having that annoying ass firing delay. There you have it, you sexy beast. I hope you all had a freaking amazing Sunday and an even better week ahead of you. If you have a question that you're dying to ask me, you can either post it in the comment section below or send me a YouTube message to be featured in the next week's Subscriber Sunday Q&A. So until next time, you sexy beasts, have a good one.